All right, so we're going to look at some mock drafts today in preparation for one that comes out next week. General thought process is going to be how can we navigate into potentially more desirable decks and have backup plans or like off ramps. We feel like we're getting cut. We can also talk about maybe what the deck can be trying to do and some just similar types of picks, like a normal draft. So this is one we just finished. Um, and I mean, we didn't. I guess we could replay the draft. So here, the thought process was seems like clearing away the best card and probably one of the better colors. I feel like white is probably going to be the best color in the set, and best in parentheses, understanding that, or in quotes, understanding that it can depend on what cards you're opening, how well it's recognized, and availability of cards in a particular pod, um, and what color are you trying to pair it with. Um, But next to white, I feel like green, if it's not going to be the second strongest, it's probably going to be the third. So a bomb level card, in my opinion, I mean, it gives you that unnatural growth, double power and toughness at each combat effect, and it's on a body that, for no mana, can give itself indestructible. Grading jet to pay 4 life and sack 2 creatures, which is um, not a low cost. But yeah, I feel like it's something definitely you would like to take first because then you can just have your draft around getting creatures, being able to get this out on a potentially stable board or ramp it out. So yeah, if this were not here, then consideration is probably on the Annoy with Affliction. Uh, what looks to be a very strong black removal spell can become unconditional exile removal if you've corrupted the opponent, which in black, particularly like black green, and then probably also black white and black blue, just not black red, shouldn't be as big of a challenge. If you weren't going to take the North Infliction, or you had a preference towards white, which should not be unreasonable, then there is Planar Disruption, which is probably pretty close to No Infliction and could potentially even be better because it can hit Planeswalkers. Um, and there is some sacrifice, but not a ton in the format. And it doesn't look exceptionally strong. So I feel like it probably would not be like wrong to say I have a preference towards white. And this is a very good interaction spell to help me stay with my white aggressive plan. Potentially would be like Planar Disruption over Noise with Infliction. If this around here, that's probably the one, maybe two, three. And then after that, you could consider the Rot Priest, Skull Bomb, Thrumming Bird, Rabble. So yeah, after that, we got a dud of a pack. So Rear's not very strong. Staff completion just seems awkward. Um, just awkward. um, Argument potentially could be made for saying, okay, I'm happy to pair white with green. We'll take charge with might, so give me 2 creatures that then will double up the power and toughness, hopefully, or just removal is also modal, and it's probably going to be a fine card. 3 mana is tough, but instant speed is good to see. You could say, okay, maybe I'm just going to try and get oil counters and do the green red oil thing, and I think that will be a fine deck. Uh, but I wasn't super excited about going into it, though. Free from Flesh probably is going to be one of the better cards in that deck as a support card, and Furnace Skull Bomb is probably going to be pretty good in that deck as well. Um, if you wanted to try and stay on white, or sorry, on green, then you could say, okay, I'm going to be a little more defensive, slow things down, which I thought about, versus I'm going to maybe try and ramp, something like this, or other creatures out. Granted, if you take the oil, you're a little bit of a hedge towards red green, in which case maybe you just want one of those two anyway. But I figured I have something worth ramping out, and it can always block. I'm not excited about any of these cards really. Could just say, we'll take that, but I'm not really leaning towards taking a card in two other colors. It's really off plan from this. I wouldn't try and support this plan. So this was kind of a whatever pick, and maybe this will always cut off green a little bit from the next person. From there, we get another not very good pack. Best cards, it's tough to say, but it's maybe like this Seer or Mesmerizing Dose versus maybe Crescendo, maybe the sack. And I figured, okay, if I'm trying to play a mid-range to longer game, like want to try and establish some inevitability with some early creatures that have good defensive speed if I can't get in damage, and then I can use mana as a sink for this. I can build up to this. I'm also recognizing a rare's gone, and then we have all three of our uncommons, and then we're missing a common. I was like, okay, wait, I can't tell the color because we still have white, blue, black, red, green. Someone took a rare, then someone took a common before this. So there are commons in green that I would take over the sack. The 3/3 that either like gets land or proliferates is one of them. So it could be green, and that would kind of stink. It could be white just because this is a not great white common, or it could be red because this is like a fine red common. So it's kind of tough to say, but I'm seeing, or it could be black because these are both just not good, but it's probably not blue. And then it could be green or any other colors. Anyway, but this felt like could maybe make a deck. Again, not really where I want to be third pick, but saying, okay, I'm happy to get deeper in a color and try and get towards a strategy. Could have considered this, saying, okay, well, I'll just bring my bomb back. But okay. So at this point, I said, okay, we're missing a rare, an uncommon, and a common. And we're missing black. So somebody took a black common, plus a rare we don't know the color of, and an uncommon we don't really know the color of. So I was between Hex Gold Halberd and Duels of Deep Faith. And my preference would be to be white-green compared to white-red, but I figured this... bless me. If I could write green with the oil stuff, I already have some support for that. And I think that this is as good or a better card than this. It might not make up for the fact that I think red is a worse color than white, but if I have an equipment like this that I can put on some good green creature bodies, whether they're toxic or just big, like First Strike and Trample is asking to push toxic damage or asking to just make it really tough if you have like a 4/4 or 6/6 or something on the green side of things. So I don't know what the right pick was, but that was the considerations there. And then here, this is where I probably should have said, okay, maybe I'm seeing a white card plus another white card that I think are good back-to-back packs. It's getting to the middle of the pack. Maybe I need to take this Complete Devotion. But I also saw this Plague Nurse that I think can be all right if you're trying to do the toxic thing to get corrupted. And I don't necessarily have a reason to do that, but I didn't want to branch out into too many colors. Like, okay, I don't want to waste too many picks, especially first pack when I maybe can try and send some signals. Maybe if I can get deeper into a color and find a sick color that is open. So maybe it should have been Complete Devotion over Plague Nurse. But I mean, nothing else was really a consideration other than those two. And this is where I kind of pulled the trigger for saying, okay, this is the third straight white card I've seen that's good. And maybe I'm going to get myself in trouble by passing two and then taking a third. So I might get cut a little on white in pack 2, but hopefully I can still get some green hookup and get some white in pack 3 if it comes down to that. And I think this is, in most circumstances, going to be better than the Indoctrination Attendant. I think this can do some cute stuff like picking up our sack when it has, like 1 or no oil counters on it. Which is nice. Granted, that'd be later in the game because you're not going to be able to play this one unless you did the sack and then you were able to ramp with this so that on turn 3 you made a 3/3, but then I don't think you want to pick this up when it has 2 oil counters on it still, so it's not great. So to me, it was kind of between Complete Devotion and this Siphoner. It's saying, okay, I think Black-Green can lean into poison and maybe even get a true like poison victory with 10 counters. Um, but all I really have is the Plague Nurse at this point, and I knew the person taking a black common, and one of those 3 to my right, so it just didn't seem like where I wanted to go. So I took this to get some interaction in a good color, and then I got rewarded with Flinting Raptor, which I think is going to be one of the top white commons. If I were to go back and look at the rankings I have, yeah, I think I have Planar Disruption and then Flinting Raptor 1, 2, both at B minus, and then a lot of stuff at C plus that can move in there. Um, so, but yeah, very happy to see a 7th pick Flimsing Raptor. In particular, because there's another like white uncommon. Not that I am going to be in white cream, but also saying, okay, well maybe no one's even or be white blue, but maybe there's fewer people in white than I would expect if I'm using like a golden common. So the reason white blue is going to pick up some of these cards that I'm looking for. And then at this point, it's either 2-drop that is probably going to be fine versus this. And now I'm happy to take this. I'm saying, okay, well, if I'm going to be maybe a little more mid-rangey, I can pick up the sack. I could like pick up the Raptor and play it again if I wanted you to. I don't think we're going to splash as equipment, but I mean, you could always, if we just got super cut off green for whatever reason, you could always like pick up the equipment to replay it and keep your 2/2. So maybe we should take this for curve considerations, but I went with the attendant. And then was super rewarded what we thought was the second best card in the pack. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of these other than maybe the head cleaver, but I feel like you're probably taking or I'm probably taking Plan Disruption over all these other ones. Back would pick one. So that's encouraging to see, okay, maybe there is some wide open. And then yeah, I got Mites for some more interaction. I think it's probably stronger when we have something that can pump creatures or make creatures bigger and can increase your modality of the creatures here. If you do this, we usually attack with like 3 or 4 mites, and a couple get through, and you're dealing extra toxic damage with each one of them. Bring to the air, and also does removal. Consider it against odds because again, it can flicker our sack. Um, flicker this if we want to bring something else back. Yeah, so got some options, but I didn't feel like that was worth it, and we only really have like one creature we'd want to bring back with us right now, so might seemed okay for interaction. And this is just actually probably for the board. Should have taken a canopy over Helm, but I'm saying Helm actually has some main deck playability if you just really get cut out. And again, just a 2-drop that we hope not to play. Take the 1 color card and then 1 color card. Okay. So we saw this. It came down to if we were doing the oil thing, this be consideration. This is probably going to be premium removal, but we're not on black. So it's probably evolving adaptive, which if you can get down the early parts of the game, it's just going to be fantastic. It's going to grow and grow. And I think it's probably that over the Shepherd in particular, though I think this would be good in our deck, because we already have some higher drops. And then maybe we will like this Maze Skull Bomb or something. But yeah, that's kind of what it came down to. And then yeah, we're happy to get an early drop to put some pressure on, and because it'll die from our body, that's nice either for like trading and like sending to the air the other body or just pumping them up, or you can always just return it to hand and then play back because it only costs 1 mana. It's probably this over the Flesh Cutter. because this probably be okay, but it just seems very clunky. So like ideally we could like wheel the expanse or like for the board, one of these types of things. Okay, gift here, super old plan, rate 3/3 for 3 with toxic 1, and then you can flash it back. So the new Call of the Herd is really good slotting into this deck. We still do need some 2s. And then here we're hoping to either like wheel the Hunter Maze, or maybe one of these two if we're fortunate. Okay, so I really looked at these and I said, okay, we are in these colors and this is what we want to be doing. And I think we have to take this. But it does hurt to pass a Kanker Bloom that feels like it's just going to be very strong. Like 3/2 for 2. It's going to be great. And you can use it later when it's getting bricked. If it's just, proliferating some poison, destroying some artifact or enchantment that maybe is locked up, one of our bigger creatures. Or it's like a functional artifact creature or something. But really hard to pass the Slaughter Singer. We already have a good number of creatures that it would be pumping up to turn into much better, more bodies can be more aggressive. So yeah, Slaughter Singer it was. And speaking of bodies we can pump up to be more aggressive, I think it's Crawling Chorus still. I think this can be cute to splash, but we don't have a Terramorphic Expanse, and we don't have like another way to fix. We don't have like a Prism, and we probably wouldn't want to play a Prism in this type of deck, because we're probably going to, now we're focusing a little more on like try and play a bit of an earlier game, but I understand we still may get mid range and have some late stuff. So I still think this is right, but this maybe could be a consideration as we get in the format to warn that this is a great splash in these white green decks, and you prioritize a way to fix for it to get in the mid game. So I don't know. I already have 2 attendants, want more interaction. Mice can either give some bodies that can get pumped up to get in, or some mice we already have just kill a creature. Okay, now we're getting a good 2-drop. I say good because I think for this deck, being able to pressure with Toxic early is going to be good. 3/1's not often desirable stat line, but if we can get some combat tricks, of which we have 1 right now with Complete Devotion, it makes it better. I know we're passing a Mites and a Chorus, and probably more Chorus, since we already have 2 charge of the Mites. But curve considerations and trying to force some Toxic early, I feel like it's a Stalker. And this is just a whatever pick for the board. Another whatever. Probably not going to be able to use that effectively. But don't want to know one of these. Don't want to know one of these. Might not even play this or even that necessarily. That can't be for the board. Okay, great to see this wheel, because once we get something corrupted, this is a 1-mana tapper. That's fantastic. That's taking you to push damage, whether it's toxic or regular damage. I think it's probably this over the Colossal Dreadmaw variant. The thought process being, we already have some expensive stuff. I do think this could be all right, especially if we're making some mites, turn them 5/5s with toxic and trample. And maybe that's because it's uncommon. It's gonna be harder to see than a dancer, but I feel like I'm gonna want at least 1 dancer in this deck to try and tap something in a turn, tap something in my turn, and fortune some damage if need be. And then I see a 2-drop come back. That's whatever. That's whatever. Okay, so this is what I have is the best rated white common creature. I guess if we're Flizzing Raptors, so getting a second one to help balance these 3/1s. I mean, at this point, the Idol card, but which we've done multiples of with 2 Chorus, 2 Stalker, 2 Raptor now is Chorus on 1 turn 2, tech that to get our first Toxic, and play a Stalker. and then turn 3, play this raptor. Either like send the course to the air, or send the stalker to the air and just get them corrupted at that point. Yeah, I guess we'd have to send the stalker to the air because they'd want to be at 1 poison counter so far rather than sending this and just getting the second. But yeah, this can help open up this to get in for 2 toxic and 3 damage. So yeah, slam this, and maybe hope to see this expanse come back around, or like maybe this if we do need a different top end. But great to see that. Speaking of great to see, although we are a little low in interaction, having just a planar disruption, a complete devotion, and 2 charging the mites, I think it's tough to pass this Thrune over another planar disruption. So 5/5 trample can be countered, which could matter, and then game the sort of non-green spells. So I mean they'd have to like fight or bite this, but it's indestructible on my turn. Yeah, just seems like one rate very good. So take that and appreciate we might be cutting some of these 4s to have just a 3 or 4 4+ mana plays, of which we want this to be one of them. Recognizing we're not doing the oil thing, so I don't think we're going to be able to play Oil, Gourd, or Troll. This we're not here. I don't think that's the pick. I think it's the Planar Disruption. Just tracking. If we were trying to splash, this actually would have been okay to have in this deck to get a swamp for the Rot Priest or Skull Bump, but it's clear through in my opinion. And then we get another good 2-drop. We don't want or need 2 sacks, might not even want 1 sack. And then Battle Chair is interesting, but I think for curve purposes, we want the dual Sprite better too. And then could probably defend this Steward here as a way to like pump a toxic creature to get it in for damage, or make them chump the creature. It's probably not the majority of the time, but I feel like this has really good potential, especially when we already have like 2 charged the mites to, have be better removal, or this Slaughter Singer. And then probably taking the second Slaughter Singer over Raptor, because we can go wide here, and these you just kill them non-toxic. Just pump creatures up once or twice. Some of these, and these mites are now 2/2s or 3/3s potentially. It's pretty good. Then we get one of the best uncommons, in my opinion. And Sentry. I'm gonna say yeah. I have it as like a B in uncommon wise. Oscillation, Annex Sentry, Chittering Skittering, Drone Icker, Rebel Salvo, and Viral Spawning. And I guess Vivisection and Evangelist or Slaughter Singer are there for me on the B range. So to get another B level card, super encouraging. And over Zealous Conviction, but nothing else really. Probably won't play this, but I think it might be a little better than people are thinking in a deck where they might be trying to do Toxic. And then this just helps read out the deck, just make all of our creatures bigger. You add a Sizer Glider with Slaughter Singers, that's just so much damage. Like 3 Lords potentially in way. Probably not play any of these, but maybe there's a role for this in the top end. And then we wheel the Planar Disruption again for our 5th piece of interaction. Chair, mantle, whatever. So, yeah, turns out you get a pretty good deck if you do find the right lane, and we did. I did find white. So not saying that'll happen necessarily, because I think people can be on white a little bit more, but okay. So let's run it back. So this is interesting. I think I'm one of the higher people in Porcelain Zealot. So you don't have to be in a deck with toxic creatures, but white does have a lot of toxic creatures that are, trying to be aggressive. So being able to give them +2/+2, kind of as Common Professor or like, um, what was it? Um, it was from Val, and if you had Coven, it gave a creature double strike. It's not the same as +2/+2, but these enhancements that can be meaningful at a 4-mana CMC card tend to play well. I don't know if we're supposed to take Zealot over Elish Norn, though. So the thing is, in Limited, permanent entering the ability, cause trigger ability, trigger again the Panharmonicon effect. It's going to be tough to get that to proc. So, like, it could work with this, but this is not a great card. I think for the science, I'm gonna try. Well, I actually don't think Elshorn is better than this. Is the thing. Okay, may get some hate, so feel free to comment under the video. But I'm gonna go with the Zealot here. Okay, so now they took the rare, and we're on one of the better white commons versus probably best black common, and one of the better black uncommons. So we're leaning into toxic potentially. Is it worth passing in an Olive Infliction to go for this? Potentially, that is turn 1 enabler versus our payoff in our color. We've got black, black, black. Well, they took a rare, so it's not super helpful. I'm willing to see what black looks like. I'm not afraid of that. I think black white will be a tier 1.5 deck, maybe? I think this is just going to be so good in a black white or black green deck. And the thing is it going to be better than Billy Skulldraw in that deck? It actually might be, because you can get a similar enough effect to this in other cards. You don't really get this unless you're playing black green. You have the Lord that we just saw. And this is very good removal, but I'm willing to stay single color here. Oh gosh, tough decisions. So now we get removal, which we just passed, versus a very strong 3-drop. In a vacuum, I have this rated higher. I think this is probably what you're supposed to take is your first removal spell, first interaction spell. Notice we're missing a rare and a common. White, blue, black, red, green. Don't think they would have taken a white card because these are, in my opinion, the top 2 commons in white. And this is might be okay in black. Don't we have a good blue common, so maybe they took blue. And this will probably be okay, but they could have taken a red common as well. Probably not green, as this is one of the better green commons, especially early on when you can lean into like the red green oil. So I think I'm gonna go with the interaction here. The 3-drop. Okay. So we're down 2 uncommons and a common. White, blue, black, red, green. So we have them all. There's only one white common left. So this is one of the better blue commons. This might be okay, but we probably had a red common taken, maybe. Just isn't going to be something you take early on, and we are missing that. Or it could be, a white common, but I still think we take this for interaction. Okay, let's. So now, are we going to find our second color? I don't think this is on plan. This is probably more controlling. We're not really doing the oil thing, but if we're just going to push damage, I mean, that can probably push damage. It's either Onslaught and saying we're just going to pop everything, and this might be a little cheaper because of Might, so maybe we can double spell in that last turn, versus Might open like a Splash, as Toxic, it's a 2-drop. Our little creatures but at least do have a 2-drop. I think it's probably just this plated Onslaught though. But this could maybe help us from a land. So I can go find one. No, I think this is going to be a better finisher though. Okay, so that's on Toxic Plan. I don't think we'll be able to proc this, but it's just so late to see this. And this deck will probably oftentimes win with damage rather than poison. So I think we just take the 1-drop and hope we can see it early. Okay, pick 7. Okay, we're at a green and white cards, and basically black almost as well. If we lean into a tempo blue white, then it's probably bring the end. I don't think that gets where we want to go. Maybe, but I don't think this is going to be that good of a card. So bring the end and see that as some interaction. Probably Ruthless Predation over the Pestilence Ciphers because we haven't really seen much black at all. Yeah, but now we're a little interaction heavy. Okay. Take the canopy for the board. Ugh, all these red cards. We could think of, we already are interaction heavy, so we could think about a 2-drop. I think this is probably. I'll take that, but I don't imagine we play it. Okay, we can Plague Nurse versus Battle Chair. We don't have much expensive stuff. I think I'm gonna try the Battle Chair here. Take the Blast. I don't think that's gonna be good though. I don't think that's gonna be good in this deck either. Ugh, okay, so we're hopefully white, but we need some creatures, so it probably comes down to 3-1, Planar Disruption, or Stinger. We're not necessarily green, so I don't know if we can, when these are so close in power, I feel like, I'm not sure if we can commit to green or white-green here, put this in the pack. So I think we take this and delay that just a little bit and probably not lose much power, if any. Okay, so that's interesting because I think that could be good, but we don't have a way to really get oil. So I don't think we're doing that. On rate, this is a 3 minutes for 3. Is that going to be noticeably better than Crawling Chorus or even just a car? It probably will be. But then we're giving up a Battle Chair, an Adaptive, and a Ruthless Predation. We were seeing red, so I think we have to consider that. I'm willing to try this. Okay, so if we were still doing the green thing, which we maybe should be, this would be great. I think this is enough better, which is tough to say because this is one of the top commons I have to imagine, but I think we're still on this. Okay, and we're saying we're not trying to do the equipment for Mirrodin thing. We're just trying to take well-statted aggressive creatures, in which case I think it's probably this Duels of Deep Faith over Need answer. Devotion. Yeah. Okay. Ugh. Not really jazzed about this card. This can put oil stuff that I don't think is going to matter for this deck. I think this actually could be fine sideboard if they have like a planeswalker to bring in. And I'm not sure that. Well, actually, so this might actually be okay because we can just pick up our equipment and replay it again in our body. So I actually think I'm gonna lean into this one. Okay, so things another zealot, and now we're just gonna look for stuff that's toxic and try not to have too many of these other things. It's probably that over this. Okay. So we do have some equipment, and this might be enough for us. So I'm gonna get these out of here now at this point. I don't think that's gonna be that good. I don't really want to play that specialized. Against all odds, we could flicker an equipment to get a 2/2 and bring back some more creatures. I'm down for that. Okay. Now is it another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10? This is so much better. I think we've gotta take action. And now we'll take the Dirtly 2-drop. Dirtly 2-drop with Toxic at least. Not really going to be doing that. I don't think this is where we want to be. I'm going to take that, but let me not play it. Then I don't think we're going to play that either. Okay, so I think we got a little rewarded for ending up in red here. I'm going to... Yeah, we're not going to be doing that. So we get probably at least a B, if not like a B plus A minus level card. And Dragonwing Glider. So 4/4 Flying Haste for 5. In red, that doesn't normally get that much flying. It's nice. And then it is expensive quick loss, but at the point we are being able to play this, giving +2/+2 flying and haste for 5 mana is something I think you're happy to do. We are passing a Planar Disruption, notably, which we already have a lot of interaction, so I think that's fine. Okay, so we're not going to play this, though. I don't think it will be a good card. It's probably Sinew Dancer, and we just hope to try and get them corrupted to be able to use this over a Complete Devotion. Yeah, we need to get on board early and have something we can be doing. Yeah, we're off that now. So now it's either a 3/1 or 2, a 2/1. Do we have enough equipment to where we might be able to proc this? Maybe we get lucky in that wheels. And I don't think we get another 4-drop. Though, what's our equipment count? 1, 2, 3. I think I'm probably going to take the just a car. Okay. I think we're still going to take a Planar Disruption because it's so much better than the Scamp. Yeah. Okay, so I'm fine with this as a 4-drop. 3/3 haste with the Woman Body. I think we take that over Complete Devotion because we do need some good bodies. Oh, wait, we get a nice 2-drop. These are kind of whatever. We already have one of these. I don't think we're going to play either one of them. I don't think we really want to play this either. I'm actually okay with this. Because might be able to use these mites with our double zealots. We only really have a couple flyers like glider and glider, but curve is relatively low, and it does give us a mana sink late in the game, which for now we really just have like Sinew Dancer and some equipment move arounds actually. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. And then I don't think that's what I want. Okay, we'll play another one of those for the board. Okay. Okay. This could maybe get by with 16 land. Because we have this Dune Mover rather than 17. If we do that, we just need a cut. So what do we have equipment wise? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we play that over this stinger. Since we have a next minute 2 drops. And if we play 16 land with this, so we've got this is a way to break through. All the creatures can't block, just attack for lethal. And we have this as a way to break through. They're different enough that that's probably fine to have both those. And then we have double conviction, completion against all odds, planar disruption. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 17 creatures, 7 interaction, 16 land. Mana sinks we have. Equip 1 equipment, equip 3 equipment. Equip 5 equipment. That's alright. And a Sinew Dancer. So yeah, I think we can probably turn the glider on, but it may require us to have a little more fortunate draws to be able to get, these duelists out. So we may not kill on that, but we can pump them with this or just pump other creatures. Yeah, I think this ends up being fine. Oh wait, that got down there by mistake. So actually, yeah, let's get that back. In that case, so which one of these is better, I think, for this deck? Because it makes it so none of their creatures can block. And that's actually probably better than a plated onslaught since this doesn't give trample. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that actually. Still back on 16 lands, but double conviction, double disruption. I think this will have a use in this deck because we have so many creatures we would be happy to bring back. Like, Glider will probably be useful. Bastard can be good. And maybe the Furnace Punisher or the Sinew Dancer. It's not actually great. Maybe we would actually get rid of that and place another creature, but is it like a Lightbringer? Maybe. No, I think this would work. So yeah, this is yeah, um I'm not have equipment folks, but we do have probably the best equipment and maybe the second best equipment in the set. Really overall card wise. So that is what you would want. Yeah, so that's 2 drafts. Let's see if we can sneak one more in. Okay. So I don't think that this Mathcore is going to be that good. So it's really Ossification versus Scrap Gorger. And I actually am not sure what the right answer to this is going to be. I think there's enough good removals of this while still probably being a B plus and this being like a B minus. I'm still actually happy trying this out. So we'll see. Then are we immediately hard punished? Yeah, we are. Let's just sell it. Well, so be it. Yikes. Okay, so now might be that we're on this Nimrazor Paladin. And yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, so another Zealot versus a Kanker. I think for curve purposes, I'm going to go with the Kanker Bloom. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to get there on these. And one is still good. Okay. We could speculate on this versus a Necrosquito. It feels so awkward to speculate on a 2-2 combat trick, though. Necrosquito. We'll give that a try, but I don't know if that's where we're really going to end up. Okay, so if there's a deck that is going to try to move by poison, I think it's probably green-black. So I'm happy to take that as a 2-drop. I think this will be okay for refilling. This will probably just be a 3-3 with Toxic 1 rather than one of those. I don't think I'm going to want to play this, but if we can get some good interactive tricks, that might end up having a role. I mean, this would be the trick to play on it. Yeah. I'm not super happy with where we're starting. It's a late mites, but for the board, like two of those. Probably go with like one of those. Okay. So now we get an infectious bite versus an ambulatory edifice. I think we need some good interaction. So I think it's actually those look similar. I think it's the bite. Okay. So now it's 2-drop toxic versus bite versus splash the evangelist. Oh, we do have this Gorger. I think I'm willing to take the upside play of splashing the evangelist. Ugh. 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 Do we just jump onto that and just scrap our green? Oh, we have a viral spawning, but I think we have to. Yep. Yeah. And now we might just be black-white. Oh, we could be cute there, or we could just use this. Jeez. Okay, so what do we actually have? Are we white, green, splash black? I think we can probably defend that. Okay, yeah. I might bet him for now. legs. And we just need bodies, but don't really have much interaction. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the 2-drop. And then we have enough toxic. I think we take this over. Ooh, well. Yeah, I think I would prefer to have that. So that's a gift. That's a gift too. Wow. Wow. Okay. I don't think we still don't have our fixing. I think we're probably on glider over duelist right now. I'm gonna put this there and I'm not gonna put that in. Yeah. And then I think this is just so replaceable versus that. Need bodies. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know if I can put another black splash card in, so it's versus Deep Faith. We need the creature at this point. Okay. Then we'll take a devotion. Probably not gonna play that. Okay, so there we go. That'll help us find a swamp. Take the gems. Might actually consider that. So let's see. It's probably just cutting that. And then deciding. I think that's good enough to try and play off of 2 swamps and a mover. It doesn't feel great though. Yeah, not as clean as the last one. Yeah, I don't think we put that in there to buy some time. It is good with the zealot, but yeah, I think that's where we end up. And we just try and get in what we can and try and get to an emperor. Um, this could help find a swamp, but I'm not going to kill it even with double swamp. And I guess we do have the scrap gorger as well. So might be able to get by with 1 swamp, but that feels a little iffy. Scrap gorger. I can find it. I can pseudo find it. Hey, anyway, well, I hope you found this useful. Thinking through different archetypes. I know we ended up in same deck a couple times, but the card is legislator. So yeah, feel free to comment what you agreed or disagreed on, and yeah, looking forward to catching y'all, in the best one or best of 3 Qs for one when it drops. Thanks. Have a good one.